girl Imadi. Welcome back to another episode of The Mix. And today I have with me a girl boss. She co-owns a tattoo shop in Farmington Hills, and she's an artist. Her name is Krissy the Butcher. Welcome. You look so cute, girl. You always look cute. Okay, so tell everybody a little bit about how you got into tattooing. We'll start there, just with how you started working on people like that.
Okay. So, I mean, pretty much as a kid, I was always into art. So art was like my thing, you know what I mean? So I was always in the art classes, art studios.
You were just always creative.
Always
like that.
creative.
Okay.
So when I graduated high school and I went into college, I kind of had to leave the art dreams behind because back then, nobody really pushed art as a career.
Right.
So the thought
of
being
always like
artist,
a starving artist.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
There was always a perception of an artist being starving, not making
Right.
money. So I kind of like left that dream behind.
Okay.
But then I was getting depressed because that is like a crucial part of my personality.
Yeah.
So my brother was getting tattooed or something like that. He got tattooed pretty young, like at 16. My mom took him up there.
Okay.
And so I was thinking, I'm like, dang, like, I wonder if I could do this as a career. And so I would sit up all night in my college dorm, and I was like, LA Ink was really popular at the time. So Kat Von D was like the main woman
chick,
figure,
right?
Tattoo artist. So I was like, dang, I really think I could do this.
Right.
So I kind of just started filling out the streets, seeing where I could fit in, and eventually I found a woman. Her name is Lady L, who tattooed. She taught me how to do my very first tattoo. And then I was hooked. Like,
okay, but so you could always draw before that.
Yeah.
She was just the one that taught you.
You had to like actually physically
put it
pick
on
up the
somebody.
tattoo machine
Right.
and put my art on skin.
Okay.
And then from there we kind of like, split ways, did our own things, and I eventually got an apprenticeship at my first tattoo shop.
Okay.
And then from there I was sold. As soon as I stepped into the tattoo shop, like I knew, like this is me.
Okay. Okay, so how did you meet, because you co-own your shop now,
Yes.
right? Okay, so how did you meet him?
Okay,
how did that happen?
Q, this is after I worked in a couple of shops. Then I started working at Greenfield Plaza.
Okay.
So when I started working at Greenfield Plaza, I actually took his spot
Ooh.
that he was supposed to have.
Oh, wow.
So they hired me, and then somebody else ended up getting fired.
Okay.
And then he came after that, and we clicked and became really close friends.
Okay.
And then we just always tattooed next to each other. And then once we moved to Farmington Hills, the owner that owned the shop that we worked at, she left. And we just took over.
Okay.
Yeah.
At that spot. So that was you guys' first spot, the one that you're at now.
Yeah, the one they're at, it was owned by a different owner.
Okay.
And then, she
And when
left.
she left it to y'all?
And no, she didn't technically leave it to us.
Okay.
We kind of had to like slide and do our thing.
Oh.
But yeah, so I mean,
Okay.
just the opportunity presented itself, and it was either we worked for somebody else or we stepped up as owners and did our own thing, and we stepped up.
All right, so how did that work? Like you guys moving from just being artists and then becoming owners? Like what were some of the challenges that the hurdles that you guys had to like kind of go with the learning curve to get things moving?
Now that's deep, because being a tattoo artist is definitely a very free lifestyle, and it's still very raw, and it's still it can be connected to the streets a lot. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it just is what it is. It's a very raw type of industry. So when you convert over to taking it to business, it's like two different brains competing. So it's like a business and then it's a creative brain. So that's if the struggle exists, it's between that. It's learning how to be an artist and also run a business at the same time, and switching between those two ideologies.
Those two mindsets.
Yes, it's a completely different mindset.
Right.
So that's the struggle for us, because we operated as solely artists for maybe 9 years before we even became business owners.
Okay.
So to switch your way of living, and then to completely,
that's a big tough. That's a lot. That's a big step.
Yes, and then we're young too. I was like 20. I was 27, 28 when I actually became an owner.
Okay.
So this is me having a whole team underneath me. Usually a team that's far older than me. Usually.
Right.
So it's a different dynamic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that you mentioned that brings up a good point. So did you ever feel like I know when I've had jobs and they've tried to put me into like a leadership role, especially when it's it's been that sort of situation where I'm over like guys and they're older than me. It's men and they're older than me. So I'm like, I was always like nervous. Like, I don't know, because I don't feel like people are going to take me serious. I don't feel like they're going to listen to me. Like, this little girl is going to be telling me what to do. So is that something that you had to deal with all the time?
It's definitely a dynamic that I have learned to adapt to because, you know, but that's good that actually me and Q are a partnership because the way that I feel inside is what he looks like physically. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because he's
how
huge. Tall is he?
He's 6'5". He has that
jacked.
Like, he's jacked up.
Right.
And that's what I feel like. My personality and my attitude and my mental is like that.
So you guys play off each other.
So we just play off each other. But me being a woman and a young woman at that, I can't necessarily approach a man a certain way without their egos being bruised, so I send the man to do it for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's smart.
So I just know how to adapt to it.
Right. You just got to know how to move and make it work, because that is so funny. Okay. All right. So so when you are dating, I know that I've seen so many memes when it comes to stuff like this. Like, there was one that someone sent me, and I felt so offended. And it was like, you know, if she has a job and she makes her own money, she is not going to listen. And I'm like, well, what am I listening to? Like, I'm not a baby. I know how to get up and go to work. I know how to take care of myself. So I'm not understanding what it is that I have to be listening to. Right. But then at the same time, they'll try to dog you out if you don't have anything and you're that type of chick that's just looking for the dude with money. Right. So I feel like you don't know what you want. So has that been something that you've had to like overcome when it comes to dating? Like, because I have my own stuff. I really don't need you here, but I want you here.
So,
but I've got a business to run at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge because being a strong, independent woman, I mean, there's no real need for, we don't have to be dependent in a codependent way on a man. Right. So if you're there, it's because I want you to be there. Right.
Which I feel like you should take that as an even bigger compliment. Yeah. Like, I don't need you. I'm not holding on to you because I'm not going to eat if you leave. You know what I'm saying? But I really enjoy your company. But they don't see it that way. It's like you said, it's a very fragile ego type thing.
Because you have to choose a man with the proper mindset. A man that's not insecure. A man that has stuff going for himself and does not feel offended or like your job or passion is competing with them. Right. It's a certain type of mindset that we have to gear towards. And now this past few years has been the greatest dating for me because I've realized what type of man I should gear towards. Right.
And you're not wasting time. And I feel like a lot of times we try to like, what's the word? I don't know. You try to coddle them and like you just try to deal with it, and you feel like, well, maybe I can work around it, and you just had to get to a point where you're like, nah, if you ain't on board, then that's fine, but we can't mess with each other. Yeah,
boss type women have to gear towards a guy who can step up and who can also just be on our level. Like, I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Yeah. Don't like dumb yourself down to make any man feel comfortable. I say you shine. You shine the best that you can. Right. And if a man is able and willing to step up, then he will. If not, then
and I feel like too, it's a play between like, you have to know how to step up, and then you also have to know when to let me do what I'm doing.
That's true.
There's two sides to that. I don't know if you ever watched Beyonce's Homecoming. Yeah. There's like a part in that I love so much, and it's when she's really getting on her team. Like, you guys, there's something wrong. There's a disconnect. We need to really make it work. And Jay's sitting right next to her, but he's like quiet the whole time, and he's just watching her like do what she has to do. Right. I feel like a lot of guys don't understand how to maneuver between those two roles. Like, I got to be a man, but I got to know when I need to step back and let her do what she needs to do.
Exactly. And I've witnessed polar opposites. Like, when I first started tattooing and in business for myself, guys were very insecure, and I would have guys come up to the shop and literally just sit there and watch me tattoo. Right. And like, that drove me insane. Like, I cannot, like, just, who are you tattooing? Why is he fine?
And I feel like that's another issue that sort of industry would bring for you, because not only, you just having your own and you being a boss, and that's one thing, but it's like, dudes want to get tattooed in certain places, and you're dealing with just all types of men all day, and shirts being off and stuff. So that's like a whole nother aspect that they have to like, you got to be secure to deal with that. And nobody has time for you to be like complaining about every person and where you know him from. He's a client. Like, what you want to do?
Okay, so it's like in the tattoo world, it's like people I tell my apprentice and I tell other artists underneath me, people look at a tattoo artist as an exotic being. And if you are fine, that's even better because it's rare that people are able to tattoo and actually do it well. And it's rare to have like an image that goes with it, especially for females. Yeah. So now that it's a new breed of female tattooers that look fine as well. I say use it to your advantage, not in a negative way. It's just a type of finesse that we put out there with boundaries that makes our business thrive. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
That's true. Right. You gotta take it with what it is. Like if she's cute.
It is. That's so for any relationship that I'm in, I have like an unspoken rule, and actually really a spoken rule. I don't really like them to be hanging out at the shop because I have to do what I do.
Right. I need to focus, and we'll come back together at home later on. But while I'm working, and I can't have you like.
No.
Okay.
And I'm not disrespectful. I'm respectful, and I know how to conduct myself. So that's all. Anybody should know if they were dating me.
You need to, if you're dating me, you should know that there's a certain like respect that I have for you and respect that I have for myself. And you got to trust that I can operate under that sort of, I got you. Okay, so have you had issues as far as like hiring people, like hiring staff or male staff and their partners having issues with pretty girls being in the shop?
I got to put it out there. Like it's just really tough. Like the last, I mean, we've had great people, but it's just the dynamic of the tattoo shop. It's a very intimate space. Creatives are very sensitive. So each new person added to the group is going to shift the dynamic. So especially with us being, right now it's 5 females and 1 guy. Well, now it's 3 guys. It's 2 new guys that we have. But it was 5 women and 1 guy.
Then Q.
So any new male that comes in there, they have to, Q is an alpha male. If they can't get through him, it's not about the women. It's about standing up to his standards, and they're not going to make it. So, and then there's also men that gravitate because they just want to tattoo around 5 women, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to get to the cash.
That's cool, but if you're not doing your job, then you get cut loose.
If you don't have talent, if you can't get to the money, if you don't have work ethic, you're not going to survive. Because I'm really the silent killer. I'm going to be really quiet, and I'm going to observe you. But if you're not serving a purpose here, and you don't know how to get money, you can get cut real quick. I don't care.
All right, so you guys, this is my first tattoo. I'm a little tattoo baby. I don't have all this that she has going on, but Krissy actually did this one, and it went really well. I had prepared myself for so much pain, and then she got started, and I'm like, oh, this is fine. Like, I can do this. This is not a problem. So I'm gonna get another one, and I'm gonna let you guys come along to see how she works.
Yes.
And you get to see her shop, which I may or may not have had something to do with.
I mean,
you know, it's cute in there. I'm just saying, whatever. So we'll see you guys at the shop. Bye, guys. What's up, everybody? Okay, so I finally made it into Bloodline Dynasty with Krissy. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm here to get another tattoo. Krissy did my first one. I did pretty good, right?
Yeah, you did good.
I sat still. I wasn't a baby about it. Okay, so I'm just getting something small. I'm gonna let you guys see how she works her magic, and how I transform at the end. So this is the tattoo I'm getting today. I'm gonna get it right on my shoulder so I can see it every day. It says "Go without fear," and the reason why is because that's something that I struggle with every single day. Like I let the fear of failing at something stop me from trying a lot of things. So I need to get this as a reminder, like just do it even though you're scared. It's okay if you fail. It's okay if things don't go how you want them to. You can always learn and start over. So that's why I'm getting this today. When I first got here, just to tell you guys the process a little bit. When I first got here, I told her what I was getting. I actually sent her a couple pictures last night, but I told her what I was getting so she knows, and I kind of showed her the font that I was looking for. She gave me a couple suggestions about it, because the one I showed her, she was like, well, it might be kind of hard to read once it actually gets on there. So she's real knowledgeable, and she's real good about giving you advice on what's the best route to go with your tattoo. But so she picked a font. We agreed on it. She printed it out. She made a stencil, right?
Yes.
Okay. How do you do that?
And now, so the stencil is you take the design and you use put carbon paper underneath it and you trace the whole design, and then it comes out like this on the back.
Okay.
And so this is what transfers onto the skin.
Okay.
And that's like my guide of, you know, like my outline of what I follow when I tattoo. Now, for all the first timers, go to a legit shop.
Right.
We are a legit shop. We are certified through Oakland County, and all of our artists have their bloodborne pathogen and are certified under the shop. But that's the thing about tattooing, though, because when you think about it, now with the internet and all that type of stuff, anybody can buy equipment online and claim that they're a tattooer. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah, that's what professional tattooers, that's what we call scratchers. Scratchers are unprofessional tattoo artists or people just out on the streets that claim to be tattoo artists and really aren't. Let's see. And then look forward. Yep. Yeah, I want to place it right here. And usually when I place a stencil, I always like go with the curve of the body, you know? Everybody's body is different. But also people have to remember that the body is not completely symmetrical.
All right.
So, you know, kind of just have to flow with it. Let's see. So then I kind of like put pressure on there and let it kind of heat up to the body. And then...
Okay, so she said we've got to sit and let this dry, right?
Yeah, for 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay, so I think what I want to know. So when you're tattooing, in your experience, who takes the pain better? Is it men or women?
Come on now. Obviously, women take the pain better.
For real,
we are built for
course.
this. Because, I mean, obviously, women bear children. So I think I get an equal amount of men and women clientele. Okay. But the women nowadays are starting to get bigger and bigger pieces. And they're starting to get more bold with what type of pieces that they're getting. So the last few face tattoos, obviously face tattoos are very intense. Right. Like, I only do face tattoos on people who are in a different type of artistic lifestyle or are just really dedicated. But the last few face tattoos I've done have been on women.
Oh yeah, I saw you did a butterfly one.
I did a butterfly on Tiny Jag. She's a local musician from here, and she got that. I did a whole red dragon on the side of a girl's face. Yeah. Women are coming hard these days.
Right. Okay, so another question. So you being a female tattoo artist, do you feel like women are more comfortable coming to you versus a guy, especially if they're getting it in like a more intimate spot, or do they really not care so much?
I would say yes. Women come to me more because they're getting more intimate stuff. They'll get stuff that's like, you know, on their butts, on their thighs, you know, and it's just they want to feel comfortable. They don't want to feel like somebody's trying to creep on them at the same time that they're getting a piece done. And that has happened in the tattoo industry, that dynamic of like creepy male tattooers
just taking advantage of,
and it happens. So now that female tattooers are coming up, more women are gravitating towards them because they just want to feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would be. And not to say that anybody in here, like that I wouldn't trust anybody in here, especially because I know you're here. Like, you know, but I just would still just feel more comfortable. Like, if I got stuff out in the open, like I'm cool with a girl helping me out. Like,
and guys feel comfortable too getting tattooed by women.
Really?
Because it's like more of a nurturing thing. You know, they don't have to put like up this front, like, like you know, I gotta be tough and I gotta just, you know, if it hurts, I can't show pain.
Right.
Like, you know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. All right. Okay, so tell me a little bit about like the health aspect of it. Because like you said, people have to be certified and all that stuff. Okay,
so
I feel like that's probably something that a lot of people don't think about or don't realize when they're thinking, I just want to draw on people for a living. Like, no, it's kind of a big deal because
that's the number one. That's the number one sanitation, because we're breaking the skin and we're around blood. Yeah. So that disease can come with that, and preventing disease and the spread of disease is like the main thing that you learn when you become a tattooer. Okay. So if you're a real tattooer, like a certified tattooer, you have to get your bloodborne pathogen certification, and you have to renew that every year, just like any doctor or nurse, because we work with blood.
So where do you go for that?
So we go online. There's online courses that we go to, and then we submit that to the health department. Okay. And then for Oakland County, it's a very strict county, and we're I believe the only black tattoo shop in Oakland County. So, you know, it's a little bit more strict on us. Right. But they come maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and they'll pop up randomly. So
in the shop?
Yeah, they'll come to the shop, and they'll pop up randomly and inspect everything. So if everything isn't right, they can potentially search you down. On point? Oh, man. So we all have to have our certificates up to date. We have to have, like, there's a lot of little things, how we handle needles, how we handle liquids, and how we dispose stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the most important thing.
Okay.
And then also our client forms have to be on point. We cannot tattoo or pierce minors unless they're parental guardian with birth certificate.
You gotta have all that
we have to have
paperwork
everything on
ready
point.
to go. Right. Okay.
So now we were started off nervous when they first started coming through, but now they love how we operate and we're very organized. So they used us as a training ground for up and coming health inspectors. So sometimes they'll come and they'll bring 5 trainees. Also, which is cool because I'm like, well, I mean, we have everything together.
Right. For y'all now, it's like second nature.
Oh yeah,
y'all got everything together. You don't even have to think about it.
Officially done.
It's done.
Yes.
See, and I didn't cry. Thank you very much. Oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty. It's like dainty and cute, feminine. I like it. What you think?
I love it. Put this on here. Wear it for a couple of hours if you would like.
And Krissy is like really light-handed, you guys. So it's beautiful. She's just so gentle. She's got the womanly touch. All right, you guys, so we are officially done. I have my daily reminder to not let fear stop me from doing stuff, thank God. Okay, so tell everybody what your Instagram is, where they can find your work at.
Okay, so my personal Instagram is the X Butcher, THEX Butcher, and then the shop Instagram is at Bloodline Dynasty, and our website is bloodlinedynasty.com.
Awesome. She's really good, you guys. She actually, I would definitely recommend that you follow both pages, but she's really good about like giving little tips about business and stuff like that. Like, she's not the type that's holding back all the gems. She wants everybody to be winning out here, right? So you should follow her. Even if you're not interested in tattoos, she's still a good follow for that reason.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. We'll see you guys later. Bye.